move, you're parallel on that mat. Step that left leg back. Find that footing, find that balance. Drop it with control. Bring it up. Reset. Just the left leg. Don't move that right leg. Don't move the right leg. Good. All right, if you need to, team, if the balance is kind of tripping you out, feel free. You can also do a little step, just like I did. What I want to focus on is that range of motion. Safely, with control, lower it down. Try to give me one more. Big squeeze, and shake it out. One thing you probably noticed too, we were moving the left leg, right? But that right quad is getting the work. We'll talk about that during the rest. For now, left leg doesn't move. Left leg doesn't move. Take that right leg back. Same thing, with control, drop it down. So we're going to the opposite side now. If you're moving the same leg, go to the opposite side. And it's all about that balance. You need to take those 3 little steps. Take the 3 little steps. Whatever you need in order to complete this move successfully, take it. Biggest thing though, keep that front foot planted. 1 leg at a time. Final little dip right here. Bring it up. And rest, rest, rest. All right, so take a deep breath in. First little left and right unilateral set. Let's start to talk about it. So one thing you'll notice, and I said this after we did that first leg, the leg that's moving, it's working. You're feeling it, but you're really feeling the strength being built in that stationary leg. Because what's happening here is, I always like to tell people, in lunges, that front foot is your anchor. If you are not anchored, the balance to come all the way up, it's like you don't have a stable foundation. So that front leg is what's working. So keep that front leg planted, feel that work in the quad. Again, right leg stays planted, face sideways. Let's go again. Left leg moves, just the left leg. Think about that front foot. We're going for 8 reps here, right? So think about trying to create a pace, a pattern with your movement. Even if you're going with that little step back, maybe it's 3 steps. Start to create a pace, a cadence with that movement, staying connected to that breath. Final one, and rest it out. How did that one feel? A little bit better? Sometimes learning the mechanics helps you to kind of like break it down in your brain, helps you understand. We're going opposite side, left foot is planted, right leg moves, let's go for it. Focusing and keeping that front foot firmly planted, that's our anchor. Find that dip, and again, what is your pace? We're going for 8 reps, so if we were to break it up, that's somewhere between 3 to 4 seconds per rep. So for me, as I'm working through things, as I'm trying to hit rep targets, I know I'm someone who is musically inclined to dance, so finding that pattern helps me to stay with that pace. Rest it, rest it. All right, team, so you got 2 sets down. We're gonna go through this final set together. I hope that these lunges are starting to feel a little bit more familiar to you. You're starting to find more balance as we go through this. Coach Colby said this once in one of her classes where she was working unilaterally. That first rep, that first set through, so it's gonna be a little wobbly because your body's trying to, the brain is trying to send a signal to your body like, hey, we're working this side right now. But hopefully set number 2 felt a little bit better. And this is our final set, working in this unilateral movement. So hopefully this is the best set that you do today. So face sideways, right leg doesn't move, going just left leg. Let's try to go for 10 this time. If you're feeling really good about the movement, you're like, Coach Clarence, you're a great teacher, and I totally understand this lunge, pick up the pace a little bit. Let's go for that 3-second pace. If you want to, feel free, you can stay with me. We're gonna go for those 10 reps. Good, keep it going. That right foot stays planted. Our body knows exactly what we're doing right here. Good, final 2 right here. Final 1. And rest it up. Shake it out, shake it out. All right, friends, last lunge you're gonna do in this class today. Left foot is gonna stay planted. Right leg moves. Give me that same number of reps. Let's go for it. As always, if you want, you can stay with me. I'm feeling good about the lunge, so I'm gonna try to push the pace a little bit. We went for 8 in those first 2. This time, I'm going for 10. So if you want, you're with me. We got 4 more. Good, keeping that pace, even with the step, we can do 3 more. Even with that little step, we can do 2 more. Whatever you need, I want you to take it. Last one, best one. And rest it up. Oh. Whose legs are feeling it? We did all those squats. Then went for all those lunges. Those quads are feeling tough, right? Let's start to work the upper body. Do me a favor, final round of the day, we're gonna go for a superset. And it's super because it's super challenging, but it's also gonna be super fun. So eyes, ears on me. Here's how we're gonna start this. We're gonna start first with the hand release push-up. And listen, if you can give me that push-up from your toes, I love that. But knees, perfectly fine. Whether you're doing from the toes or the knees, this is how it goes. You're gonna take it down. Hands come off the mat at the bottom. Big press up to the top. Again, take it all the way down, whether this is from your knees or your toes. Chest touches the mat, hands come up. Powerful press to the top. That is going to be our first exercise. Now, exercise number 2, we're just gonna go for a bird dog, okay? So you're in a tabletop position, right with left, boom. Left with right. Biggest thing, try not to turn the hips. Think about foosball table. I put a rod through your hips, rod through your shoulders, so you can't shake. Keep everything stable. That final move is a hold. We talked about holds earlier in class. We're just gonna go for a high plank hold. Shoulders above those wrists, just holding it right here. We start with 30 seconds, we go down to 25, we end with 20. Starting with that hand release push up, whether it's knees or toes, take it down, big push up. Take it down, big push up. And again, if you feel good about push-ups, do it from your toes. Big press up. I'm just looking for 8 reps. So nothing crazy. Taking your time, feeling those chest muscles, feeling those pectoral muscles. Every time you give me that big press up. Last one. And take a deep breath in. Quick 10 seconds. So that was our longest working set. Now we're gonna go down to 25 seconds for that bird dog. Find a tabletop, foosball table. You got the rods through the hips, through the shoulders, so take your time. Same thing here. 4 seconds per rep. Think about keeping it stable. I like to bring my eyes down, trying to focus. Maybe you're looking at that center line of your mat. 3 seconds, last one right here. And rest it up. Good job, team. All right, here's what we got. We're going for that high plank hold. Think about this the same way we did that forearm plank hold. If you can't go 20 seconds, it's fine. Hold it for as long as you can. Take it right here. Shoulders are above the wrist. Core is intact. Same thing. Don't give me this. Don't give me that. If you need to drop the knees, I love that. If that's where you're at today, I want you to be there. Take it right there if you need to. But if you can, pop it up. Final 3. Stay with it. And rest, rest, rest. All right, so you see why we call it a superset? It's crazy, right? Your exercise is stacked. But again, we're gonna do this 2 more times through. And here's what's gonna happen. Whole training plan is about growth, right? So we're gonna start to grow in this. Raise your hand if you're someone who is doing the push-ups from the knees. This isn't a trick or trap. Just raise your hand. Beautiful, I love that for you. You're still working the chest the same way that anyone doing it from the toes will be doing. But here's what I want you to try. We're gonna go into this hand release push-up, right? So, doing this from our knees, I want you to lower it down with control. When the hands come up, press yourself up to the top, and then for just a quick second, pop those knees up to a high plank, and bring them back down. Lower it. Hands come up, press it back up, just pop it. We're just gonna mimic that motion we're trying to get 2 minutes. Try it with me, all right? Hand release push-ups to start. Here we go. So again, if you're doing this from your knees, bring it up, just pop it up for just a second, just to see how it feels. I want you to do this because a lot of time we talk about where we want to be, we talk about what our goals are, but we don't often talk about how we're gonna get there. What's the plan to get there? So if our goal is to be able to do that push-up from our toes, well, we gotta know what that feels like so we can start to prepare ourselves. So, have that little pause. Start to see what that feels like. Last one. Oh, you crushed that. You crushed that, I love it. Take a deep breath. Here's what we got. We're going for those bird dogs. Find that tabletop position. Foosball table. Keep that rod. Reach. Good. Feeling a little bit of that glute that we worked with those lunges for sure. But also feeling a little bit of lengthening. And also maybe relief for the shoulder when you reach that arm out. Final one right here. Big reach. Bring it back down. And shake it out. All right, team. Here's what we got. We're going for that high plank hold. Maybe you try that same little knees pop up for a second here. Give me a second. Shoulders over the wrist, core intact. So like we did for that hand release push-up, if this is where you're at, say to yourself, a little froggy today. Bring it up. Just feel it, see what it feels like. Again, we have goals, but how do we get there? Start to get into that space. There you go, resting. Woo! Team, I felt like I was preaching there for a second. I felt like we had like a moment. You know, do any of you have like that friend that like you go to, you're like, I'm gonna go to them because